Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Belle of the Ball. So as always, I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I wanted to talk about my self-love journey and get into a bit more details as to how everything started and where I am right now. And then from that point on, my videos will just basically be about things I've learned along the way and what I want to share with people and everybody that's out there, all the beautiful people in the world. So I'm just gonna jump right into it and get to the point, okay? So, growing up, let's start there. Just a brief kind of overview. I had a really good childhood. I grew up in Jamaica and I moved here when I was 12 years old with my mom and my sister. We moved to Miami. And I love my childhood. I was really close to both of my parents. Um, Life was fun. Life is fun growing up in the islands. And, but at the same time, growing up, I struggled with self confidence and feeling good about myself. And I'm sure most of us, when we're young, we have a lot of self esteem issues. We don't feel good enough, we don't feel pretty enough, we don't feel this, we don't feel that. And just like most people, that's how I grew up. I did not have a lot of self confidence, and it followed me for a long time. And I may have projected an image to some people of maybe I do have confidence or I don't care. I know I come off as being sometimes indifferent or aloof, or kind of bitchy to some people, I guess. And all of that for me was a protective mechanism to hide my sensitivities and my vulnerabilities as a person because I felt like being soft was weak and being expressive was a bad thing. And so, you know, I still went after certain things. I always did well in school. I had friends and things like that. But I was always a bit more introverted and I used to normally keep to myself. Now, I do know how to socialize. I'm not completely such a recluse that I don't know how to socialize with people. I do and I can. But for the most part, I've always been more introverted as a person. And so I would say that things started to change for me in 2018. So by that time, I had started my new job and things were great. I had graduated the year before from college, 2017. And so a friend of mine helped me get the job. I was working for an online university, getting people enrolled to start school. And things were pretty good. The job was good. I met a lot of cool people. I had a job, I had a car, I was living at home with my mom and my sister, and everything was good. Or so I thought, or so things seemed on the surface. But I started to have a feeling of being a bit lost and confused, as if what I'm doing is not enough. Where I am in life is not satisfying. There's something more that I want, and there's something that my soul is yearning for, but I didn't quite know what it was and how to put my finger on it. And so how would I say it? So I was in a situationship, something like a relationship, but not really, with someone. And I remember this night as standing out for me and was almost at the beginning of my life kind of changing. So I remember, we were watching basketball and everything. And I don't remember how the conversation came up, but it was something like along the lines of I was expressing to him that I felt dissatisfied with my life. Like, yeah, I'm working, I have this job, and it's good, but it's just something like I feel like I need more, and I feel in my spirit like something is off. And I know most of us have had those experiences where something is, you feel unhappy, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You don't know what it is, and you don't know why. And I was saying, I feel so lost, I feel so confused. And he's like, why? You have everything. You're a young girl, you're beautiful, you have a good job, blah, blah, blah. You should be okay. But I think as people, we've been conditioned to believe that having things, having a job, having a car, and friends, and all of these things, they matter on a very basic level. If you are familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are different levels, and at the very bottom are your basic needs, which is shelter, home, car, food, things to keep you alive. But as you climb, you need more emotional and spiritual needs, things that not only feed your body, but feed your soul. And at the very top, there is something called self actualization, which most people don't accomplish because they stay at the base level thinking that material things are all they need to be happy. And it's cliche, but it's true. Money never makes you happy and things don't make you happy because we are not here to live lives to be slaves to money and things. We're here to express our souls and to find our purpose, and we are spiritual beings first. It's cliche. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but it's the truth. We are spirit first. And so from that point on, I just started to make a series of bad decisions and just wanting to party and go out and kind of do my own thing because I felt lost. I felt like I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know what I need to do. So it was just easy to always want to go out and go to parties and, just when you're young, that's what you feel like you should do, and that's how you become happy. And it made things worse for me. And I just did not feel good about myself. I felt so down and low. And just some things happened in between with the bad decisions that I was making and being involved with someone else at the time. And that person was very toxic. I know that word is so overused, but just a broken, damaged, narcissistic person. And that kind of helped me to realize that the decisions that I'm making in my life right now are not good. I'm making very poor decisions and I'm not happy with where I'm at. It's just, I feel miserable. And so I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I got to make some changes. Because, the way my life is going right now, the way I feel about myself, I felt horrible. Did not feel good. Despite having a good job, having money, and all these things. So I started to think about things that I wanted to do. I started to think about what are some basic activities that I want to do that I haven't gotten a chance to do. So I started to take piano classes because I always wanted to learn how to play the piano. I think it's such a beautiful instrument. Love the piano. So I started taking piano classes. I slowly started to do things that were good for me that I really needed. I wanted to take self-defense classes because as women, I definitely believe in self-defense and protecting yourself. So I enrolled in a martial arts class because they didn't have self-defense specifically for women, but they had martial arts. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I was doing that. I was doing my piano classes. Eventually I dropped the piano classes and kept the martial arts because of money purposes, because it's kind of expensive to take piano lessons. It's crazy. But I kept practicing at home. And so, yeah, and after that, I just started to prioritize myself. What I realized about myself was that I have been a people pleaser. As much as I was a bit fierce and kind of independent in my own way, when I'm close to a person, I become loyal to a fault. And then I end up making decisions and doing things to please other people and not for my own self. So throughout that time, I started to self-evaluate and I started to really look at myself and realize that some of the decisions that I was making were self-destructive. I was being too concerned with how people saw me, what I looked like to people, And most of us are always, concerned about looks and how people see us. One second. Playing some music in the background. It's kind of loud, so I got to turn it down. So yeah, I started to evaluate myself and realize that I got to do better. And my self-confidence started to get better. I started to build my self-confidence by choosing myself first, doing things I wanted to do. I started to eat more of a vegan diet. Not a vegan, but I tried to eat a lot more veggies and fruits and just take care of my body. And what I noticed is when you really start to take care of yourself, like I wasn't intentionally, I wanted to be vegan because I just feel like it's the better lifestyle to have instead of always eating a lot of meat, or at least having a balance. But I was so focused on being a better person and just being more loving and just, I don't know, learning how to just be myself and embrace who I am without being apologetic, being without having to apologize for that. And with that, I noticed that I was even losing weight. Like I was losing weight around that time, and my body was changing, and I lost weight, and people noticed it, and I didn't even notice it myself. So it was crazy that my body itself was going through a transformation while my mind and body, my mind and my spirit were also transforming. But I noticed that my body was changing last. And so I started to really develop more of a spiritual lifestyle. And it just came naturally to me where now I meditate, I do yoga, I always try to say my affirmations, learn how to just be on my own and be independent and not be so codependent on the people around me. Because at the end of the day, you have one life to live and you have to live your life for yourself first, despite your family and friends and the people you love, because we all have a unique purpose and we have to fulfill that. And that's between you and God, that's between you and the universe. And sometimes we have to pull away from others to reflect and find who we are. And I'm still very much on that journey of, I've come a long way. I've made a lot of decisions as far as distancing myself and removing certain people from my life that no longer serve me. And it can be a bit of a lonely path, but it's worth it at the end of the day, because the benefit is being closer to yourself, being closer to your highest potential and highest purpose, being closer to God, and knowing that you will manifest the life of your dreams when you put yourself first and you love yourself and you go after what you want and what you love. And it's a slow, draining process that will test you and bring you down to your knees at times, and you will cry tears where you feel like your gut is going to pull and rip up out of you. But it transforms you and it makes you grow and evolve into a beautiful being, and you see yourself almost go through a rebirth, and that is amazing. And I'm still going through it. That's still very much my journey. The journey never really ends. You still keep going, but you embrace the changes and you give thanks for who you are, and you embrace your authentic self. So that is where I want to leave it off, guys. I just wanted to share that. And, life is not perfect. We're not perfect. We try our best. But, give yourself a pat on the back for where you are and for the growth that you've made. And you'll continue to grow, and good things will come in time with patience and perseverance and resilience. And have an attitude of gratitude, because no matter how bad it is, somebody has it worse. And I have to remind myself of that sometimes. So I'm going to end it here, and I will be back with another one. And I'm going to make the topics a bit more diverse and more fun, and things that I've learned and what I would like for you guys to take away and what you can learn, because I feel like I've learned so much and I want to share that with everybody that's out there. So that is it for the video. So definitely go ahead, like, comment, share if you like my vibe, you like my energy, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Hello. And I will see y'all in the next one. So stay sweet and stay safe. You are loved. Bye guys.